Usually, so just going back to an advisor, when they're trying to figure out your valuation, they'll try and go and find um, comparable deals in that industry and use that as a baseline.
Hmm. Okay. Can't be easy though if everything's private. How do you find comps?
Yeah, there are. So we don't do it, but there's systems like there's one called PitchBook,
Mm.
and there's other ones around where people are reporting their deals and what the comps are on those deals. And if a good M&A advisor will have sold hundreds of companies, so they've got their own comps as well, and so they can go back and see what they are. So there is ways to dig up comps, but we as CIM Amplify, we don't keep that information.
Okay. So if somebody's looking for an exit here and they want to explore this avenue, then they first need to find the advisor. Where do you find an advisor? Because it's not quite the same as asking around for a good real estate agent or whatever, where everybody seems to know someone who's a real estate agent. How how do you find an advisor?
Yeah, it's a great question, and one that I get asked quite a bit, and I'm actually thinking that we're going to try and solve that in the future. So we've actually started a website called advisorchooser.com, and you'll see that it's not up yet, but it is a very tough part right now. Most advisors come from references. So you'll be talking to your friends that own companies and say, "Hey, you sold. Who did you sell through?" So that comes through. You can go on the web, but it's kind of hit and miss. And I think so. Whenever you're going to choose an advisor, you'll find lots by looking on the web. But you should list. You should never go with the first one. You should interview about five. Your company culture is an important piece. Yeah, you should always go with five minimum and
Mhm.
interview them. Come up with five questions that you're going to ask. And a lot of it is about, what kind of work is up front? What are you going to do in the back end? How much are your fees? Because they all charge fees. How do fees work? And have you ever sold a company like mine before? And those are great questions. Um, and those types of questions will move you on through them. But what it really comes to is, do they get you? And are they able to present you to enough buyers out there that, because the more buyers, the higher the price. It's just an absolute truth. And so they need to be able to present you to people in your industry and strategics. And also, they need to be able to present you to the people you already know. Like, your competitors, they may not, but they need to be able to present in a good way that way. But I would strongly suggest one, advisorchooser.com when it comes out next month, but also do research and find people that work for you.
Okay.